Hi there, I'm Erica Suzak, the Director of Student Success and Wellbeing. I'm the one who's responsible for the signs in the bathroom stalls. My office is on the first floor of the CC building across the hall from CC2. My job is to promote well-being across campus. My team and I do that by hosting monthly events that revolve around well-being and fun, because if they're boring, no one shows up. I've learned that. I am also an advisor for our Health and Wellness Club that meets regularly for workouts, chats about different aspects within wellness, and is just a safe place to connect and support others who are also interested in health and wellness. My office also oversees all accommodations, which is what we call disability services. Accommodations ensure equal access for students with a disability. I work in the Center for Student Life, which is also on the first floor of CC. The Center for Student Life can help you out with pretty much everything outside of academics, athletics, and financial aid. We have a Lost and Found, we oversee the RU app, and if you lose your student ID or need a new parking pass or want a cup of coffee, come on by. We also have about 30 student leaders, including the RAs, Christian ministry assistants, and wellness peer ambassadors, and that is something that you can also apply for in January. Within the CSL, we have Evan Green, who is the Dean of Students. He also oversees Chapel, the Black Student Union, and encourages an intercultural community and education. Dr. Caitlin Hargrave is the Spiritual Life Coordinator. She oversees all spiritual life events and programming on campus. This includes leading regular spiritual formation practices, helping campus ministry leaders lead bi-weekly Bible studies, monthly worship nights, and other large spiritual life events like our annual 24-hour prayer event, and lots more. Dustin McMillan, the Director of Community Life, oversees residential life. Peyton Douglas is a hall director and the Student Activities Coordinator. She coordinates several events every semester. Big events: dancing, music, games, food, and of course fun. Kirsten Oldenburg is the other resident director and also works full-time in student financial services. Our resident directors are on call for emergencies. They oversee the daily needs of the residential students, such as ID card malfunctions, maintenance needs, and conflict resolution. And they also oversee RAs and assist Dustin with his duties. So, let's dive in. You might notice that I love quotes, so I will sprinkle them in when I feel they are appropriate. So why does goal setting and goal pursuit matter so much? People that are flourishing wake up every day to clear-cut, short-term and long-term hard goals. When you accomplish one goal, it makes it more probable that you accomplish the next one. And the sheer action of setting a goal changes your behavior immediately. You start scanning your brain for what do you know, who do you need to meet. You start to filter in your life how to get to that goal. It puts blinders on you and it makes it harder for spam to reach you. It makes it harder for garbage and drama, and it helps create discipline. And you won't always be motivated, so you have to be disciplined. It reinforces our strengths and we think, yeah, I can do that. I already know how to do this and I can learn more. It builds our self-esteem because you are doing things that are hard and accomplishing them, or you're learning from them. And at the end of the day, when you are scanning your day for your accomplishments, the best ones are the hard ones, right? According to Dr. Edwin Locke's goal-setting theory, those with well-defined goals and feedback have a higher chance of accomplishing these goals. And the goal also has to be specific and challenging, because if it was too easy, there would be a lack of motivation, and your self-esteem wouldn't feel that great if it was too easy, right? You feel better if you did something worthwhile, if you did something challenging. And wrestling with those more difficult goals pushes you to work harder and sharpen your skills. And this helps improve performance, and then in turn, it leads to greater sense of achievement, and that makes sense, right? So how do I come up with these goals, you ask? Well, as one of my favorite curly-haired influencers, Elise Myers, likes to say, that's a great question. I'd love to tell you. Goals need to be specific and challenging to be effective. There are 5 basic principles of goal setting according to Locke's goal setting theory. Clarity. The clearer your goal, the less likely the chance of misunderstanding. This ensures that you know the direction you're going and you aren't making the wrong steps. And yes, we will briefly go over smarter goals to help create those very clear goals. Challenge. Goals need to challenge you. Setting goals that are way below your capacity will not be satisfying, and it's hard to be motivated in the long term. And setting challenging goals that will take effort can boost motivation, and they feel so rewarding. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. But the goals also shouldn't be unattainable, right? Commitment. Committed is one of the strongest predictors of goal attainment. It means that you stick to your goals and you fully support the goal that you're pursuing. And feedback. Feedback is important because it allows you to see how well or badly you're doing. And sometimes the goal may need to be corrected or clarified so that you can measure your progress better. And you can ask things like, how can I improve? What did I learn? Why did I fail? Why did I succeed? If you don't have feedback, then you won't know if you're on the right track to achieving your goals. And that feedback can be internal. So when you reevaluate and you give yourself feedback and you actually think about how you're doing, or it can come from someone else. In fact, having an accountability partner significantly increases your likelihood of achieving your goals. 65% more likely, actually. And if you have regularly scheduled appointments with your friend, the odds of success increase to almost 95%. During your check-ins, it's important to discuss your goals, emotional challenges, and everything that is both helping and hindering your journey. Talk about your barriers. And the fifth thing is task complexity. When tasks for a goal are overly complex, it hinders our morale, productivity, and motivation. So break those down into smaller, more manageable goals, right? And don't be afraid to fail. That's how you build resilience, by failing and overcoming. What if it all works out? So how do you write a goal? I'm going to talk about SMARTer goals. So some of you are probably familiar with SMARTer goals, and this might be a review for you, but maybe you've never heard of it, and your instructor will hand out a worksheet to help you walk through writing a SMARTer goal. Go ahead, instructor. Thank you. First off, a goal has to be specific. The biggest problem with goals is when you make them too vague. You don't want to disappoint yourself or come up with too clear-cut of a goal. It's scary, I get it. Break out of your comfort zone. Nothing grows there. The pleasant life is not meaningful. You need goals that are going to take you away from living in default. And you might have to ask yourself the 6 W's. Who? Who is involved? Is this a family or relationship goal? Is this a team goal? Do you need support to get to this goal? Who else needs to be involved with this goal? What? What do you want to accomplish? What is the goal? Where? Do you need to move? Do you need to travel? Do you need to go to another university for graduate school? And when? Establish a time frame. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And of course, which? Requirements and constraints, your barriers, and why? What is the purpose of this goal? While earning your degree is a huge accomplishment, and it is, it really is, earning your degree is used to accomplish a bigger goal. So what is the big why, right? So for an example, a very general, vague goal would be to get good grades. Yay, I want to get good grades. Yay, everybody wants to get good grades. Yay. A specific goal would be, I will earn a 3.4 GPA this semester, right? Next, your goal needs to be measurable. How will you know when you've achieved your goal? Can you break this bigger goal into smaller goals that will help you keep motivated? You might need to ask how much, how many, how will I know when it's accomplished, how will I know I'm on the right track, and how will I know when I'm halfway there, right? So, going back to our goal of a 3.4 GPA this semester, how do you measure this? How do you know you're on the right track? I know for most of you, you check your grades more often than just midterms and finals. How can you check your grades on your own? Hint, it's probably in your syllabus. When you identify the goals that are most important to you, you begin to figure out ways that can make them come true. And maybe you don't have what you need to achieve your goal yet. You begin seeing previously overlooked opportunities to bring yourself closer to the achievement of your goals. You will develop those attitudes, abilities, skills, and financial resources to reach your goals. And goals must be something that you are both willing and able to work towards. So if you don't have the resources, can you obtain them? Is this an achievable or attainable goal for you? Or is this just something that's completely out of the question for you? So, can you achieve a 3.4 GPA this semester? For some of you, a 3.4 is too easy. Or it's just not practical for you right now, right? Maybe you have family obligations that really limit the time that you can spend studying, and a 3.4 it's just not practical. So what are some resources for those of you that are like, well, a 3.3, 3.2 is probably good enough, but I'd really love a 3.4. There are office hours. Go to the ACE lab. Talk to your fellow peers. Talk to people who are already working in that field. There's lots of things you can do to make that goal attainable or achievable. And of course, relevant. The big why. Why do you want to achieve this? What is driving you toward completion? Does this goal align with your values? Because if it doesn't, and it isn't relevant, it will stay on the back burner, right? It might become some of that unfinished business. And T is for timely. Putting an end point on your goal gives you a clear-cut target to work towards. Without a time limit, there's no urgency to start taking action now. So a timely goal will usually answer the question, when? So what's the due date? What can I do 6 months from now? What can I do 6 weeks from now? What can I do today? And once you've written your beautiful, smart goal, maybe you've already been working on it for a little bit, evaluate it. Is this goal still relevant for you? Have there been big changes to your life that make this goal irrelevant or may slow down this goal significantly? Have you shifted your focus? Right? And once you've evaluated, you might need to redo your goal, or just parts of it. Remember, it's never too late to start again. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. Thank you for your attention. I hope that you learned something today. And if you would like to talk more, please don't hesitate to reach out. Come on by my office or send me an email. You are worthy. You are loved. And you are lovable. God bless and be well.